It's not all chocolate frogs and butterbeer, you know. Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 disturbing truths about Harry Potter.
Dark and difficult times lie ahead.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we take an in-depth look at everything that's just a little bit wrong with the wizarding world. We're Potterheads and proud, but some parts of Harry's story are seriously messed up.
We house elves were treated like vermin, sir. Of course, Dobby is still treated like vermin.
Number 10, Hogwarts Recruitment.
The world will know our story. How I was too late to save the girl. How you two tragically lost your minds at the sight of her mangled body.
Has Dumbledore never heard of background checks? Does he not care about his students' welfare? Well, not really, but more on that later. The Hogwarts staff room is heaving with dodgy sorts who really shouldn't be anywhere near a school, let alone in charge of the pupils.
Stop it! Can't you see us bothering him? Stop it!
Lockhart's a professional liar, Moody's a trained killer even before we realise he's actually a Death Eater in disguise, and Slughorn inspired the Dark Lord during his first Hogwarts stretch. So obviously, you'd invite him back. Why, Albus? Just why?
How does one split his soul, sir?
I think you already know the answer to that, Tom.
Murder.
Yes.
Number 9, Potions Class. Because Snape's dungeon is basically a dressed-up meth kitchen, steaming with life-threatening concoctions and hallucinatory brews.
I can tell you how to bottle fame, brew glory, and even put a stopper in death.
Yes, he keeps the really heavy stuff in a cupboard behind his desk, but Hogwarts is hardly Fort Knox when it comes to keeping students out. Nicholas Flamel can vouch for that. And then Slughorn comes along, him again, and has everyone obsessing over love potions like it's totally normal to secretly slip someone a mind-altering substance to make them like you.
It does cause powerful infatuation or obsession, and for that reason, it is probably the most dangerous potion in this room.
Anywhere else, and that's definitely illegal.
I'm in love with her! Alright, fine, you're in love with her. Have you ever actually met her?
Number 8, Hogwarts is a death trap.
The third floor corridor on the right-hand side is out of bounds to everyone who does not wish to die a most painful death.
Yes, a magical school in a magnificent castle hidden away from muggles has its obvious plus points, but why aren't more parents plagued with anxiety when they leave their kids on platform 9 3/4? Because Hogwarts is far from safe. On any given day, you could be maimed by a tree, hit by a bludger, mauled by a hippogriff, killed by a basilisk. You could fall 7 stories from a moving staircase, or you could do detention in the famously dangerous Forbidden Forest. And that's before you've even picked up your wand.
Wait till my father hears about this. This is servant stuff.
Number 7, Boggarts.
Boggarts are shapeshifters. They take the shape of whatever a particular person fears the most. That's what makes them so
terrifying, yeah.
An oft-forgotten creature from a standout Lupin lesson, the books and films don't even scratch the surface for the limitless destruction that Boggarts could potentially bring. Because what if your biggest fear is an apocalyptic tidal wave? Or an instantaneous end of the world? You'd have to muster a pretty impressive ridiculous charm pretty quickly to get rid of that.
Ridiculous!
Ridiculous!
It's class, that's ridiculous.
Very good.
And even if the Boggarts form is incapable of wielding actual carnage, putting a kid through their own worst nightmare in front of their mates is seriously harsh. Number 6, Polyjuice Potion.
What Sonny's drinking, do you suppose? I don't know, but I don't think it's pumpkin juice.
A shape-shifting game changer introduced in Harry's second year, Polyjuice Potion creates a fairly obvious problem. What if everyone's on it? What if Fred really is George?
He's not Fred, I am. Honestly, woman, you call yourself our mother.
Or Voldemort is Dumbledore. In short, you can't trust anyone for as long as this stuff exists. And Hermione brews a batch when she's 13, so, as brilliant as she is, it's not exactly unobtainable. As Barty Crouch Jr. proves, the criminal possibilities are endless as long as you can kidnap and imprison your victim, and casual identity theft couldn't be easier.
Wow, we're identical.
Number 5. Dumbledore's motives. Kindly old wizard or borderline sociopath?
Harry! I protest!
Harry, you put your name in the goblet of fire.
There's no doubt that Dumbledore's a major player in Harry's story because he basically causes most of Potter's problems. The Hogwarts headmaster has a hunch on Harry's significance throughout the saga, and so manipulates the kid into sacrificing everything to defeat the Dark Lord, even his own life if need be.
You've kept him alive so that he can die at the proper moment. You've been raising him like a pig for slaughter.
It's like Dumbledore and Voldemort are chess grandmasters, and Harry is Albus's king piece. As for Snape, he's just collateral damage in Dumbledore's grand, admittedly quite glorious, design.
You must be the one to kill me, Severus. It is the only way.
We still love him though. Number 4. Rampant Prejudice.
Yes, Draco's told me all about you and your parents. Muggles, aren't they?
The wizarding world seems unhealthily obsessed with class, heritage, and bloodline, and it's not just the baddies either. Only the likes of Draco Malfoy freely drop the M-word.
You filthy little mudblood.
But prejudice creeps into all corners of Harry's society. Remus Lupin is a social outcast thanks to his physical condition.
Parents will not want someone like me teaching their children.
The Weasleys are ridiculed by fully grown adults because they're short on money. And Lucius Malfoy somehow becomes a ministry bigwig just by being a bastard apparently. Obviously, it doesn't help that the Hogwarts house system exists mostly to establish staunch social stereotypes from the off.
Ha! Another Weasley. I know just what to do with you.
Number 3. Casual slavery.
Who are you? Dobby, sir. Dobby the house elf.
As cute as Dobby undoubtedly is, his backstory is exceptionally bleak. And not just because of the Malfoys.
Dobby is used to death threats, sir. Dobby gets them 5 times a day at home.
Grim treatment of house elves seems ingrained into wizard culture, with even the likes of Ron looking down on them. Hermione's Society for the Promotion of Elfish Welfare is laughed at in the books and skipped completely in the films. So what gives? And why is Hermione the only one who cares about it?
Away with you!
Of course, Master. Creature lives to serve the noble house of Black.
Those Hogwarts feasts are clearly incredible, but pretty problematic given the slave labour going on in the castle kitchens to produce them.
Let the feast begin.
Number 2. Wand Law. Here's an idea. Why not celebrate your kids starting school by buying them an ultra-powerful piece of magic tech which could kill or injure anyone?
Eat slugs!
Because wands are essentially over-the-counter weapons that you can spend your formative years perfecting how to use.
Stop. You're going to take someone's eye out. Besides, you're saying it wrong. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Yes, the Ministry has loose laws in place, but worthwhile preventative measures against wrongful wand use are pretty thin on the ground.
The Ministry has received intelligence that at 6:23 this evening, you performed the Patronus charm in the presence of a muggle.
And even if you are sent to Azkaban, you seem to get your wand back upon release anyway. Ollivander's got a lot to answer for.
I wondered when I'd be seeing you, Mr. Potter.
Number 1. Azkaban. What with mass surveillance techniques, blatant indoctrination, and point-blank refusal to acknowledge Voldemort's return, the Ministry of Magic's hardly a beacon for forward-thinking attitudes. But it outdoes itself with Azkaban Prison, inflicting a fate worse than death on known or just suspected criminals.
He's a murderer. Got himself locked up in Azkaban for it.
It's essentially a state-sponsored torture facility, and everyone's okay with that. The Wizarding World has a solid proof of an afterlife too, so an inmate's mangled soul could suffer for eternity.
I did my waiting! 12 years of it! In Azkaban!
At least the Dementors stay put at Azkaban, and innocent Hogwarts students are safe from their horrendous, life-ruining power. Oh wait! Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo UK and subscribe for more great content.